Most people think weak ankles are just part of getting older. They're wrong. Ankle strength, stability, and proprioception are all trainable whether you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s. The reason your balance feels off isn't your inner ear, it's not your age, it's your ankles. When ankle stability declines, your brain can't keep you upright on uneven ground. That's what leads to falls. So in this video, I'm going to show you 4 movements that bulletproof your ankles and restore the stability you need to stay confident on your feet. But first, here's what's actually happening inside your body. Your ankles have proprioceptors, tiny sensors that tell your brain where your foot is in space. After 40, those sensors start to decline. When that happens, your brain loses the feedback it needs to keep you stable. Combine that with weak ankle muscles, the ones that lift your foot during walking and prevent that rolling. And you've got a recipe for falls. Research shows weak ankles are a significant risk factor for loss of independence in adults over 60. The good news? Targeted ankle training can substantially improve stability, proprioception, and muscle strength within weeks. These 4 movements address all 3. So before we jump in, if you want a complete assessment guide that shows you exactly which muscles are your weak links, I created a book that covers your whole body, not just your ankles. Links in the description. Grab it, then come back and learn these movements. Movement 1. Ankle dorsiflexion strengthening. This targets your tibialis anterior, the muscle on the front of your shin. That muscle lifts your foot during the swing phase of walking. When it's weak, you drag your toe. You catch on obstacles like curbs, stairs, or even rugs in your house, and you trip. Most people never train this muscle. They focus on calves, on quads, on glutes. But the tibialis anterior? Neglected. And that's a problem because every single step you take requires that muscle to fire. Lift the foot, clear the ground, land safely. When it's weak, your gait changes. Your foot slaps down instead of landing controlled. Your step shortens, you shuffle instead of stride, and all of that increases fall risk. Within 6 to 8 weeks of progressive dorsiflexion training, you'll develop noticeable strength and improved gait clearance. That's how high your foot lifts during walking. That means fewer trips, better balance, more confidence. Now here's the technique. Sit upright in a chair, feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. Keep both heels planted firmly on the ground. Now slowly lift all your toes toward your shin. This creates dorsiflexion. Your foot tips upward from the ankle. Lift as high as you comfortably can. You should feel a contraction along the front of your shin. Hold for 1 to 2 seconds. Slowly lower your toes back to the floor with control. Don't let them drop suddenly. That's 1 rep. 3 sets of 15 reps per foot. Do this 5 days per week. Common mistakes include curling your toes excessively. Only the ankle should move, toes stay relaxed. Moving only the toes, not the whole forefoot. Your entire foot from ball to toes should lift together. And rushing the lowering phase. Take 2 to 3 seconds to lower. That eccentric phase builds strength. If 15 reps feels too easy after 2 weeks, add a light resistance band around the ball of your foot. Loop it, hold both ends, create tension. Perform the same movement against resistance. 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps, 4 to 5 days per week. That's movement 1. Now that prevents tripping during walking, but if your ankles can't stabilize you when you're standing still, you've got a different problem. Movement 2 addresses that directly. But first, try this right now. Stand on one leg for 30 seconds. No support. Just you and 1 foot on the ground. If you can't do it, or if you're wobbling all over the place, that's your ankle proprioception failing. When you stand on one leg, your ankle must make continuous micro-adjustments to keep you upright. Those micro-adjustments train the proprioceptive system, the sensory feedback loop between your ankle and your brain, and strengthen the stabilizing muscles surrounding your ankle joint. The 30-second single leg stance is a clinical benchmark. If you can't hold it for 30 seconds without support, your fall risk is elevated. Most people over 40 can't hit that mark. Their ankles wobble. They grab for support. They put the other foot down after 10 seconds. That's because the proprioceptors in your ankle have declined. They're not sending clear signals to your brain anymore. So your brain can't make the adjustments needed to keep you balanced. Within 6 to 8 weeks, you'll achieve a confident 30-second single leg stance without support. That's the goal. Here's how to get there. Stand facing a sturdy chair or kitchen counter. Place both hands lightly on the surface for safety. Not weight support, just balance back up. Shift your weight onto your left leg. Keep a soft knee bend, don't lock it. Now, lift your right foot about 6 inches off the floor. Bend at the knee, heel toward glutes. Maintain upright posture. Don't lean forward or back. Hold for 20 seconds. That's 1 rep. 3 sets of 20 seconds per leg, 5 days per week. Common mistakes are locking the knee on your standing leg. That reduces proprioceptive engagement and increases fall risk. Keep a soft bend. Lifting the non-standing leg too high, 6 inches is sufficient. Higher compromises balance. And leaning heavily on the chair. Use it to prevent falls only. Light fingertip contact is ideal. Once you can hold 20 seconds comfortably for 2 weeks, progress to 1 hand on the chair. Then add arm reaches. Reach forward, to the side, back, down. Make a cross pattern. 10 reaches per direction, per leg. Adding these reaching movements introduces dynamic balance challenges that mimic real-life scenarios like reaching for objects, stepping over obstacles, or turning to grab something that's movement 2. So now your ankles can stabilize you statically, but walking requires power, the ability to push off the ground with force. Movement 3 builds that explosive strength. Here's a clinical benchmark that'll tell you if your ankles are strong enough. Try 5 consecutive single leg heel raises with control. If you can't do that, your calf strength is below the standard for ankle and lower leg strength in older adults. Movement 3. Progressive heel raises. This strengthens your gastrocnemius and soleus muscles, your calves. Those muscles are critical plantar flexors responsible for pushing off the ground during walking and running. Strong calves provide explosive power and stability. They prevent your ankle from collapsing inward during weight-bearing activities. If you can't generate that push-off force, every step feels heavy. You shuffle, you fatigue quickly, and your risk of ankle rolling increases. Think about walking upstairs. Pushing off to propel yourself upward, that's plantar flexion, or walking uphill. Every step requires your calves to fire hard. When they're weak, your body compensates. Your knees work harder, your hips work harder, and your lower back takes loads it shouldn't. But here's the bigger issue. Weak calves mean weak ankles. The two are inseparable. Your calves stabilize your ankle joint during landing. They absorb shock. They control descent. Without that strength, your ankle becomes unstable. Within 8 to 12 weeks of progressive heel raise training, you should be able to achieve 5 to 10 single leg heel raises with control. That's the goal. And once you hit that mark, you'll notice. Stairs feel easier, walking feels lighter, and your ankles feel solid. Here's how to build it. Stand facing a wall, about 12 inches away. Place both palms flat on the wall at shoulder height for balance. Feet hip-width apart, weight evenly distributed. Slowly raise both heels off the floor, pressing through the balls of your feet. Rise as high as comfortably possible without pain. Hold the top position for 1 second. Then slowly lower your heels back to the floor with control. Don't drop them suddenly. Pause briefly on the floor for 1 second before the next rep. 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps, 4 to 5 days per week. Rest 2 minutes between sets. Common mistakes for this movement are pushing off the wall. Use it for balance only. Your feet and calves should do the work. Rapid lowering. The eccentric phase is critical for strength development. Take 2 to 3 seconds to lower. And incomplete range of motion. Rise as high as possible. Shallow movements reduce the training stimulus. Once you can do 3 sets of 15 reps with perfect form and minimal wall support, progress to single leg. Stand on one leg with your other foot lifted 6 inches off the ground. Raise your heel on the standing leg. Same tempo, slow and controlled. 3 sets of 6 to 12 reps per leg, 3 to 4 days per week. That's movement 3. So now your ankles are strong vertically, lifting and pushing. But what about laterally? What stops your ankle from rolling to the side when you step on uneven ground? That's where movement 4 comes in. The peroneus muscles on the outside of your lower leg are the primary defenders against inversion ankle sprains, the most common ankle injury. Movement 4. Ankle eversion, strengthening. Eversion means turning the sole of your foot outward. That movement is critical for lateral ankle stability. When you step on uneven ground like a rock, a curb, or a divot, your ankle naturally wants to roll inward. That's inversion. If your peroneal muscles are weak, they can't resist that roll. You sprain your ankle. Rolling your ankle isn't just painful, it creates chronic instability. Once you sprain an ankle, the ligaments stretch, they don't return to full tightness. That means every future step on uneven ground puts you at risk again. The only way to compensate for that is strong peroneals. They act as dynamic stabilizers, doing the job the ligaments can't do anymore. Within 6 to 8 weeks of resistance band eversion training, you'll build notable lateral ankle stability. You'll walk on gravel with confidence, hike trails without fear, and step off curbs without thinking twice. Here's the technique. Sit upright in a chair, feet flat on the floor. Take a light to medium resistance band and loop it around the ball of one foot, the widest part of your forefoot. Hold both ends of the band in your hands. Keep the heel of your working foot on the floor. That's your anchor point. Slowly push the ball of your foot outward against the resistance of the band, creating eversion. Your sole should point outward. Move only at the ankle. Don't roll your leg outward at the hip. Hold the outer position for 1 to 2 seconds. Slowly return to starting position. Don't let the band snap back. 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps per foot, 4 to 5 days per week. Common mistakes include rolling your leg at the hip, only your ankle should move. Keep your thigh and hip stationary. A mirror can help verify this. Jerky, fast movements. Each rep should take 2 to 3 seconds for both the eversion and return phases. And the band being too tight, beginners should use a light band. Resistance should allow 15 controlled reps. If you can't reach 12, the band's too strong. Once seated, eversion feels easy after 3 to 4 weeks. Progress to standing. Loop the band around both forefeet. Stand on one leg with a soft knee bend. Evert the non-standing foot against band resistance. 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps per foot, 3 to 4 days per week. That's movement 4. And those are your 4 movements to bulletproof your ankles after 40. Let's recap quickly. Movement 1. Ankle dorsiflexion, strengthening. Prevents toe drag and tripping. Seated toe lifts, 3 sets of 15 reps, 5 days per week. Movement 2. Single leg stance with dynamic reaching, trains proprioception and balance. Hold 20 seconds per leg with chair support. 3 sets, 5 days per week. Movement 3. Progressive heel raises, builds calf strength and push-off power. Double leg against wall, 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps, 4 to 5 days per week. Movement 4. Ankle eversion, strengthening. Prevents rolling ankles and lateral instability. Seated band work, 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps, 4 to 5 days per week. Your timeline? Within 6 to 12 weeks of consistent training, you should see substantially improved ankle stability, reduced wobbling, better walking confidence, and significantly reduced fall risk. The key is consistency. 5 days per week minimum. Start at the beginner level. Progress only when you've mastered each stage. If you want the complete program with full progressions, grab that guide in the description. And if you found this helpful, hit the like button so more people can find it. Thanks for watching.